When you're fighting alone and there's no light to be found, the world can feel so cold and indifferent. And that's exactly why I can't afford to be indifferent. I can't simply step back when people are attacking my husband and children just because of our race. If I let this hate win, if I let it push me off the internet, won't that just make this space even colder? Won't it give more power to those who spread negativity? I refuse to let this happen. There has to be a counterforce to the hate, and that counterforce is us.
The majority of you said you want a whole man in your life who could provide, keep, and protect, right? So here's the question. How can you have one when you get up every day trying to be the best man you can be?
First of all, what is it like for me to face this hateful comments and attacks online? Unlike many others who also encounter negative comments online, the hate we face is much more targeted. In most cases, we haven't done anything wrong, but our mere existence, specifically as a Chinese African family, triggers disgusts and angers from a group of strangers. These people attack us with hateful words, images, comments, and private messages. The language is full of insults, slurs, graphic contents that is downright disgusting, malicious, and terrifying. I often joke that if you don't have a strong enough mindset, you should really think twice before entering into a relationship like ours.
This is a beautiful appeal from a young Chinese wife of an African man, of course, in China. What's so beautiful about the appeal is that not only is she very feminine and she is summoning the very positive nature of human beings to want to be on the side of what is good and just, but she's also signifying that in her house, she is going to protect her family, her man. Her house is going to be a safe space. In effect, she's going to bat for her man, something that many of us black men would love. In contrast to the young Chinese woman who is standing up for not just her black family, but her African husband, you're going to see the people on the panel, the young ladies, not only attack this gentleman's point of view, his preference, they're going to actually challenge his masculinity to the core.
Hey. Well, no, I have an answer.
I think that you really get the woman that you create, right? And so, or the woman that you cultivate.
There were all kinds of stories going around that didn't match my reality.
They married women for what?
A slave. Then when they find out they're gonna get married, they sneak out there and have a woman on the side, a young woman. And he come home. She done cooked, took care of the kids and all that, and clean house. He come on and dress up and go out there to party with the young women. Well, hell, the woman can't go nowhere. She too tired. She gotta go to bed. Why didn't he come in and split the stuff up? Come in and help her, and both of them sit down and rest. No, they rest, but you don't get no damn rest. A woman's work is never done.
It kind of hit me hard, to be honest. I felt misunderstood and uncomfortable, so I felt it was important to share my family's true story and clear things up.
It's kind of like, well, what kind of man were you that type of woman was even laying next to you? With that, right, did you make her feel safe? Were you consistent? Did you show up in the way that you have? Were you considerate? That's one of the largest form of intimacy is consideration. But that woman is a reflection of the household that you created. That woman is a reflection of the relationship that you created. So if you got a woman that's waking up trying to be a man, something ain't right, baby.
I'm really grateful for all that love. I often look back at those moments and now they become some of the most precious memories for our family.
That's really valid. Maybe not you, but maybe it is a realization like, I like women. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you do.
If you're aware of the show Abbott Elementary, you know the character Ava. She's kind of a caricature of the modern woman. She's snarky, she has something smart to say, she's very talented in terms of doing her job very well, and she says even in the clip that her love language is money. In this particular clip, she is on a date with a guy who is very emotionally well-adjusted, he's good looking, and he's very patient with her. And when they get down to why she's the way she is, guess who is to blame? Jermaine, anyone?
No, I just didn't want to waste any more of your time since this is going so poorly.
Why would you say that?
Because of basically everything that you said over the course of this date. Been making fun of me the whole night.
But that's kind of been our thing.
It would have been nice to build on that rapport, to actually, I don't know, learn something about each other.
Learn what? I'm perfect. You're obsessed with me.
In the show Abbott Elementary, Ava is a character that pushes the boundaries of what is professional in the workplace. Of course, it's a comedy, but the comedy is about how close she pushes the boundaries in the workplace, how unabashed she is in not only wanting to have a lot of money, but that she dates a lot of different men, and she has a very high standard for men, something that I'm sure resonates with the audience of people that watch the show. But then at the end of the date, after the gentleman has showed a large amount of restraint because he's faced a lot of ridicule in the form of jokes, she reveals why she is the way she is. And guess who's at fault? If you guessed Jermaine, you're right.
My family used to go out to eat at chain restaurants all the time. It was like my dad's favorite thing to do. But he has the worst taste.
I kind of like chain restaurants.
Me too. But I was talking about his taste in women. He started a second family with a waitress at one of those restaurants, and queso dips are very triggering for me now.
My knee-jerk reaction of hearing Ava's backstory of a father that mirrored the story of what we heard from the elder lady earlier in this video was, why is that particular caricature of her father necessary? There are tons of black men that did not do that. Yet it's that same story that just keeps popping up. And it's just a challenge to black masculinity that even when guys stayed and raised a family, they were still defective. And it speaks to why we need a clean slate.
At the end, I would like to say something to all the haters out there. We all know that in the end, we are all headed in the same direction. We will all die eventually. So why make life so difficult? Why let things that have nothing to do with you make you angry or bitter? Why not just be with the people you love, do things that make you happy? Don't wait until the end to realize that none of it mattered, that you've never lived a day just for yourself, for your own happiness. So how's your day going today?
In my opinion, any man that gets up every day, follows the letter of the law, works hard, adds to society, and on top of that has a family that he wants to improve the life of, he's pouring into his children, and he wants to make his wife's life better on a periodic/daily basis, he deserves this kind of woman that's going to speak life into him. She has a clean slate for her husband. He is not paying for the sins of men's past or even the myth of men's past. But what you're seeing continuously in conversations, especially about black men, is that black men are continually paying taxes for either the past sins of other black men or the myth of other black men's past. And that is too big of a tax to pay if you're never going to be able to fully pay it. Instead, it's better to find somewhere where you can get a clean slate. And that's exactly what we saw here with this young lady and her African husband. This young lady is not doing anything extraordinary except giving her man a chance to build a family without paying the taxes of people who were never even in their lives. And any well-meaning, hard-working guy, in my opinion, deserves at least that much. Where we go to get it, it appears, may have to be in new places, but one thing is for sure. Any man that's getting up and working his fingers to the bone to add to society deserves at least that much. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.